Lifting family, welcome back. So I apologize for looking a little bit tired, but it was just Christmas and I do have two kids that are very excited when Santa comes to visit. Having said that, I also have found a new program that I've been part of for a little while, but I did not fully understand exactly how to go about accessing the products that are available. So with that is the Amazon Vine Voice program. So when I got my email, that was several months ago, I don't really remember how I got confused. I just thought that as far as it went, that I would get an email from sellers whenever they would want something reviewed, and then I'd have the opportunity to say yes or no. That almost seems odd to me now that I'm looking at the system and understanding the setup, as far as that's more like bringing something to your front door versus going somewhere and starting to shop for the items that you can review. And because this is it's a select program and not everyone is selected to be a part of it, what I wanted to make sure was that I was not violating any rules or showing off any products that were in this Amazon Vine program. Having said that, I also wanted to offer some tips as far as I've heard people ask, how do you get into the Amazon Vine program? There is no specific metric that I've seen. The only thing that I can really say as far as products go and as far as reviews go, I try to make sure that I differentiate, so I'm not having the same. If I'm reviewing similar items, I'm not having them be copy and paste, where I've just copied one, pasted it, and then made some minor edits. The other thing is just that I try to make sure that I've got some depth to it. I try to go into about 2 paragraphs, and if that's too much for you, then getting into the Amazon Vine program is probably not going to be something you're going to do. But you also want to make sure that there's quality there. I try to make sure that if I'm going to leave negative stars, and by negative stars I mean less than 5, if I'm going to do that, I want to make sure that I am explaining the why, the exact why as to why it'll be 4 stars versus 5, or 3 stars versus 5. Because otherwise, what ends up happening is that those sellers that try to read that feedback, they can't really understand exactly why you mark them down. Everyone has a specific price point when it comes to selling something, so that's the big thing, is understanding that there is a big difference between an item that would normally cost $200 and you got it for $50. There's going to be a reason why that happens. So that's really where I try to make sure that if I'm going to offer any sort of a negative aspect to the review, that I make sure that I point that out. As far as the positives, I try to make sure that there's some glowing aspects to it, but I also try to make sure that I'm just not being too brief when it's something that's a fantastic item. Why is it fantastic? And explaining that as well. So again, 2 paragraphs is about 3 to 4 sentences, and then 6 to 8 sentences in total, which is not too hard, especially if you really enjoyed the item. That's going to be the big thing when it comes to making sure that you leave a decent length of review. And outside of that, just trying to make sure that one of the other metrics that is pretty common with Amazon is the helpful. Is this helpful placeholder for reviews? So I mean, as far as that goes, you look at a review, you read it, and you think, well, did this help me make a buying decision? And if you can do that, if you can influence others to make a buying decision, then that is also going to be something that is going to help you out. So that's another thing to try to make sure that you're thinking about when it comes to leaving a review is your review going to be able to be something that is helpful, even if it's constructive criticism, so even if it's not a glowing review, making sure that someone found that helpful for whatever reason, why you didn't like it or why you did like it. Outside of that, that's going to be where a lot of my videos are going to be coming from, is doing reviews on those items, because I will be picking and choosing what I can. And I've actually got 2 items already that I plan to review once I get them opened, and that's another thing that's been kind of a problem, is just delayed videos. So I'm going to do my best to try to make sure that I get these videos rolling sooner than later, but outside of that, this is the time of year where a lot of stuff is going on. So I do appreciate you watching the video. Please remember to click that thumbs up, comment down below if you've got any questions. I will try to answer anything that I can related to the Amazon Vine program as best as I can and as much as I think I'd be allowed to answer. Outside of that, Do remember to click that subscribe button and then turn on that bell for those notifications. Thank you for watching, and as always, keep pushing.